Alright, ooh, Nightfall Mirror. So this person's in Platinum 2 queuing against me. They must have a pretty strong win rate with good old-fashioned Diana Nocturne. Their list is going to be a lot more aggressive than mine. So I do need to be careful about that. So I think we can we could potentially mulligan the Crescent Guardian. Sometimes it's okay to summon it just as a 3-mana 3/3, especially if they high roll a Crescent Guardian or something like that. Could be fine. I'll keep Unspeakable Horror against probably Stygian Onlooker. I am going first, however, so mulligan for Sorry Soldier or something could be also very strong. Since I'm going first with the attack token, come on. There we go. Damn. We got our mulligan off, but triple Unspeakable Horror, so be it. No turn 1 play from the opponent either. Sorry Soldier. I'll block here. Really, I think since I have triple Unspeakable Horror, I can kind of be a bit more aggressive with using it here. If you Pale Cascade a Solari Soldier, it's not really that great value. Yeah, so I think we just do that to keep the board clear. That way we can float our turn 3. And having full spell mana will kind of catch us back up here, hopefully. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about, like, you know, any turn 3 Aphelios stuff, because that's how you really would normally fall behind in the mirror match. Damn. Taking 5 damage is a lot. I might need to play this Doom Beast. Like, I can Dusk Petal Dust to play the Doom Beast, but... ugh. I'm going to attack in here. Because my opponent won't block, they want to get value off of the Overwhelm. It's kind of a little bit more worth there. Now, I'm still like, my hand is all spells, basically. I'm worried about, like, Nocturne and stuff like that coming down super early. So they didn't Nightfall this, so no punish there. I'm just going to play the Fangs. Trickster I do kind of like, actually. Again, my hand is like nothing, so just to get a decent unit off for the Trickster I think is acceptable. This is fine. If I block with the Fangs, I go down to 16. If I block here, I go down to 13. It's got to be worth it to get the lifesteal value here, right? Because I take 3 and then heal 3, it just negates this. I like that value. Leaving the Doom Beast alive just lets me hit it with Fading Memories or something down the road. And the Fangs got me really nice value because now I can do this. But the progress on my opponent's Nocturne is ticking up. And I am very behind on that race. That's actually pretty good for me. I can attack with the Trickster and then Unspeakable Horror. I wonder if my opponent would value trade like this to play around Unspeakable Horror. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to do this. I can't push damage through. I'm being the defensive player in this match. Just clearing threats, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay topped off. Diana's going to level up here next round. Remember that Evershade Stalker can't block, so this is only going to be good for me having a really big swing turn next round. That's 2 Diana's Pale Cascades, actually, so far. They got Doom Beast off of Stalking Shadows, which is good information to know. I can Fading Memories my own Doom Beast right now just to get another blocker. And offset some of this incoming damage. I could go really greedy with Moonlight Affliction. Typically, again, used as a finisher. Could come through here to save me some damage. So, like, I can kill Diana here. while also not taking the overwhelm damage from Crescent Guardian. And you can see I'm slowly building up card advantage for myself. This will remain at 1 HP, so the third Unspeakable Horror will come through for me heavy. And maybe I just go for an Evershade Stalker turn. I'll play the Flight first. Another Diana. I'll play Sky Shadows here. That way I have a 3-1 to threaten Diana with. That'll be like 4 Dianas that they've drawn. Oh, and there's Nocturne. Yeah, that is not good. So I guess the play here is I play Doom Beast, and if my opponent blocks again... Should I keep this alive as a blocker? No, it can't block Fearsome, so there's no point in keeping it alive. And depending on my opponent's blocks, they play into the other Unspeakable Horror. Okay, I just have to do this then. Really pitiful draws on my side. I have good HP total, good card advantage, but leveled up Nocturne is so ridiculous. My Nocturne is nowhere near leveled up. I could have maybe gone for a line with the Evershade Stalkers, but I just have to take a billion damage here, because ain't nothing for it. Let's see, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. I'd rather just take the hit than sacrifice my Nocturne to Diana. I could actually Dusk Petal, Dust Pale Cascade, so that my Sky Shadows lives. Yeah, that levels up Diana, so... If I block like this, yeah, I'm pretty safe. Now I can play my Nocturne to grant this Nocturne vulnerable to get that off of the board. Lunari Priestess is trouble, simply because it makes it more dangerous for me to develop into them. I can just save the Flight, I think, for a Nightfall enabler next round. Let's play a 1-drop here. Then I can go for yeah, the longer I wait, the more my board gets debuffed by this Nocturne. I have to kill it. At the very least, I could level up with Evershade Stalker, but it just... Because they can't block, it would need to be a lethal swing forcing my opponent to block. And then they got Messenger off of Lunari Priestess, which they got off of Unspeakable Horror. Oof. I was feeling pretty confident earlier in the game, but then things went south for me pretty hard. I might need to do this. I'm like not going to get any damage this round, but I guess I can level up my Nocturne at the very least. Because the Evershade Stalker I can clear Nocturne with, yeah. And so that would be 2, 3, 4. I need to play another Evershade Stalker so that I can not attack with Nocturne, but still have them level up. But look at this, just crazy board disadvantage. I'll have to Gravitum something. And now we are maybe flipping the script here, where if my opponent doesn't open attack, I can debuff their board and survive. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Crescendum also potentially a thing there. And my opponent has Moonlight Affliction or Cygnus the Moonstalker or something. I do have some elusive blockers at the very least. Yep, just keep debuffing their board. They're most likely trying to activate Nightfall for Diana to kill my Nocturne. I'm fine with that. They do generate another card though, so that's going to be another threat. And the Cloven Way seems to be the best bet here for me. I think I'll just play another Evershade Stalker. Can't block, but debuffing these down to 0 attack basically means I'm taking away attackers and it's fine. Tons of mana. They could have gotten something really big like an Eclipse Dragon. And I have the Cloven Way to maybe stun that. So either I commit to Cloven Way this round, maybe stun Diana so that it's guaranteed to protect Nocturne. That was probably the answer. Oh, they have their own. Which, that's what they got off of Unspeakable Horror. Super lucky. So, I can stun their Diana and block their Cloven Way with my Cloven Way, which guarantees protecting my Nocturne. Even though I lose out on the extra value of the bonus stun because I'm stunning a champion instead of a follower. Again, it's just worth it to do like this. Or it's risky again for me to go down to 2 HP because of something like Doom Beast. So I just gotta chill. And hopefully with a Nightfall enabler I can just do Evershade Stalker. That'll do. So it's going to be difficult to debuff this Diana, I think, a reasonable amount. But we can do -4 more, which should be lethal. They got Mountain Goat off of Stalking Shadows, so I know that they have Mountain Goat plus one other card. I don't ever main deck this card. Evershade Stalker is only good in situations like this, where you have a leveled up Nocturne in play that you've been able to protect. I think the math, yeah, the math goes through there. Man, that was close. That was very close. Ooh, Twisted Fate Fizz. This is going to be a rough one. Normally, Nightfall loses pretty hard to Twisted Fate because you just can't get anything set up. I think our option is just to be incredibly aggressive here. The double Doom Beast with Fading Memories sounds pretty awesome, actually. We offset a lot of their early damage. We set up units that are a bit resilient to red card. I guess the big issue is the inability to deal with Twisted Fate. So I'm wondering if I want something that's not that slow. Like I'm playing super slow and defensive and reactive, you still kind of get comboed out. So I do initially like a line like that, but I think I'm going to go for something a bit more proactive. I can do Slaughter Soldier here just to keep Fizz from attacking me for 2 damage for free. We get an open attack, since Fizz won't block. If my opponent does commit all their mana, I can Unspeakable Horror the Fizz. It's good to Unspeakable Horror Fizz. You can save it for Burblefish down the road, but if you do, then they have Iterative Improvement to counter that. So then they just get another Burblefish anyway. So it's better to kill the Fizz, I think, since it's a lot more limited of a card. So now I can summon Crescent Guardian as a 3/3 to threaten this from attacking me. They're playing Taskmaster in that deck. Very interesting. I have blockers for both, so it's not that bad. Aphelios I love, but I can't summon it this turn. So I'm just going to stalk into Lunari Shadestalker. Ooh, this is a tough choice. Duskbringer gives me Nightfall enablers to tie together the rest of this hand, but duplicated Doombeast just is very hard to pass up. If you take Duskbringer there, I would not blame you at all. It might even be correct. Because, like I said earlier, for the mulligan, I was talking about how Doombeast might be too slow, but I'm just going to be confident that Aphelios will just come down when he needs to. I can draw something cheap, or just whiff the draw on Pale Cascade to play Aphelios. Play Aphelios into Crescendum, or maybe even Calibrum to shoot the Ballistic Bot. Sounds like a good idea. We get this elusive blocker in play, which is so good. Some of the Aphelios builds that you'll be seeing cut the Shadestalker and have just Sky Shadows, so that you pull Sky Shadows consistently off of Crescendum, which is the moon weapon that summons a 2-mana unit. But, ooh, really? That's bad. That's very bad for me. Because I can't even threaten that with Pale Cascade now. Ugh, I have to pass. Man, iterative improvement is so good. We got all the Doom Beasts in the world. Cool. They actually don't mind, of course, taking trades like this to clear my board, because it's easier for them to reestablish than it is for me. If I wanted to Aphelios this turn, I should have Pale Cascaded there. Probably over here. So this survives, and I keep my Overwhelm for another rotation to summon Aphelios. So a bit of a misplay, especially if my opponent just passes back here. Lets the combat go through. So I'm locked out of this because I have no allies. I could just raw cast Nocturne, which would die to get excited or something like that. It's honestly not terrible if I pass. But I think the Pale Cascade to play Aphelios this round was the ticket. Double Taskmaster, that's so lucky. Cool. We have the flight into Aphelios, into Crescendum on... No, Calibrum on the Ballistic Bot. I could go for Crescendum, which, if it, my spell mana is already full, so getting the Sky Shadows isn't that particularly good. I'm not gonna take the 50/50, and I'll just go into Gravitum. That's 2 Ballistic Bots down at the very least. Yeah, Verbal Fish coming already. So I'm going to attack just so that I can Pale Cascade and get one of these units off of the board. I'm giving up my Elusive Chump to draw a card, but I need to get Unspeakable Horror, I think, for this matchup. The Flight would just die to red card or something anyway, so I think it's better to just trade it in here, ironically. My opponent thinking about if they want this to go through. Ooh. That's a really good outcome for me, because they discarded a card too. A Counterfeit Copies? Wow. Okay. I think we're going to be okay. No card draw yet. Like, pick a card brings them back into this game really hard. I haven't seen the Jagged Taskmaster version yet. That's really spooky, but... I can just do this. What'd they discard? Poro Cannon. Could go for Gravitum here. Or just debuff their entire board. Sounds pretty good. Again, I'm worried about Pale Cascade. I mean, Get Excited to clear the Nocturne. But it's probably fine, right? They played one Get Excited already. High chances they do draw into another one. Just not taking a bunch of damage this turn is probably worth it, because I can only stop one of these elusive units. And I'm going to be blocking over here again. I'll do it. And we'll give vulnerable to the burblefish. And there's the attack. Block like this. And I can Gravitum here. If I Gravitum, this would be stunned. I can pull this, then get 5 damage in. The fear grows. I'll take the Crescendum. Still nowhere near leveling up Nocturne, but them's the breaks. Fortunately, this deck doesn't run any buffs. Actually, they do run Suit Up. So that would suck. Suit Up on the Zap Sprayfin. I wonder if I'm desperate enough to Moonlight Affliction that if it comes to it. Moonlight Affliction is probably saved to give me some defense against the Burblefish combo. But we can set up a Doom Beast this round. Oh my god. Fizz with extra attack from the Jagged Taskmaster is wild. The Fangs is good. The Fangs is very good. Ooh. Decides to rummage for 2 cards rather than using the Get Excited. It does level up Fizz. He becomes elusive thanks to the spell cast. To another Zap. Yeah, so Moonlight Affliction seems like a really strong option this turn. Bangs into the Serpent. Just more removal. Moonlight Affliction I'm kind of digging. So that I can trade like that. And like that. There's maybe a world where they get, what's it called? Playful Trickster. If they drew another copy of Fizz. Okay. Yeah, see, so pick a card. They're just going to look to reload. The good news is that them reloading is going to be on their defensive turn. And with the Serpent, I get to pull Zonite Urchin on my open attack. And that should be lethal, right? No, it won't be lethal. It'll be very close, though. Does it matter where I pull these? I don't think so.
Why are you here?
Yeah, they died a Doom Beast. Holy cow, we did it! They're playing some extra weird version with Jagged Taskmaster, though. The concept is definitely there. Playing Jagged Taskmaster so that your pool sharks, like we saw, and the Zonite Urchins are a little bit better. I think, unfortunately, they were a bit too hasty with attacking him with the Ballistic Bots, rather than keeping them alive for just burn damage. And no Twisted Fate.